Good morning, all of you. So let's start with the analysis for 30th of August 2023. So we see that when will you restore Jammu and Kashmir statehood? CJI asked the center. So Solicitor General says that it will return to being a state after normalcy is back, agrees to make a positive statement on the question by tomorrow, and Ladakh, however, will remain a UT. This is what he has added. So only the UT of Jammu and Kashmir would be made a state again and Ladakh would remain as a union territory. तो यहाँ पे again आपको ये भी पता होना चाहिए कि लद्दाख की क्या demands हैं. And CJ says कि government has to make a statement before us that progression back to the statehood, it will take place within a time, and that this is not a union territory permanently. तो उसके ऊपर again stipulated timely manner में proper timeline होनी चाहिए कि how the center would be acting upon restoring the statehood of the UT of Jammu and Kashmir. So this is the thing. And कल हमने आर्टिकल 370 के abolition के बारे में बात करी थी. सुप्रीम कोर्ट का कहना क्या है, सीजे का क्या कहना है कि जिस तरीके से abolish किया गया आर्टिकल 370, did it really lead to violation of the federal structure or not? And LPG prices have been reduced by rupees 200. So again, this would be a breather for the consumers as well. So rerouting the rail track through the Gibbon Sanctuary. तो हम बात कर रहे हैं गुवाहाटी की Holangapar Sanctuary जो है, it has become a forest island. A Wildlife Institute of India report has said. So primatologists, they have suggested rerouting a 1.65 kilometer long railway track that is divided an eastern Assam sanctuary dedicated to the western Hulog gibbon into two unequal parts. So Wildlife Institute of India, it follows that the report jo hai in Science, which is a journal, follows that of the Wildlife Institute of India on designing an artificial canopy bridge to facilitate the movement of the Hulog gibbon. So again, this is the developmental infrastructure projects versus the biodiversity ki safety. And about this, Hulongapar jo wildlife sanctuary hai, this is a gibbon sanctuary in Assam. So gibbon families on both the sides of the railway track, they have thus been effectively isolated from each other. So again, ये इस चीज से compromise नहीं किया जाना चाहिए. So sanctuary, it has been turned into a forest island, having lost the connectivity with the surrounding forest patches. तो इसलिए because of this railway track, कहीं ना कहीं एक आइलैंड बन गया, मतलब एक सेपरेट एरिया सेग्रीगेट हो गया. सो देयर इज नो कनेक्टिविटी बिटवीन द अदर पार्ट्स. तो इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया अगेन, यहाँ इसके बारे में हमने पहले काफी डिटेल में बात करी थी. एक तो जो न्यू कमेटी, न्यू कॉम्पोजिशन ऑफ द कमेटी के बारे में डिस्कस किया था, ऑटोनॉमी एंड इंडिपेंडेंस ऑफ द इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया के ऊपर, उसके वजह से क्या इम्पैक्ट होगा, दैट इज इम्पोर्टेंट. And of late, we saw कि CJ as a member of the committee for the appointment of the chief election commission, the election commissioners, so he was dropped. So कहीं ना कहीं ये बोला जा रहा है कि it would lead to more political interference. But again, in the past हमने बात करी थी कि पहले के टाइम की अगर हम बात करें, when the center again had a lot of power in terms of appointing the chief election commissioners, तो उस टाइम पे we do not see any biased appointments. So as the focal point of differences between the government and the judiciary over its appointment procedure, Election Commission of India, it is in danger of being weakened. So a main concern is with regard to its autonomy and independence only. So gig workers bill की बात करें, reading between the lines. So of late we saw कि Rajasthan government came up with this bill. यहाँ पे हमने काफी बात करी थी. Again, this is a repeated topic. Firstly, we talked about कि इस bill के क्या features हैं, and again, what is the need of the requirement of having the bill at pan India level as well. So India lodges strong protest with China over the new map. Yesterday we saw this and absurd territorial claims, जो China का कहना है according to it. So Arunachal Pradesh में and in the region of Ladakh we have seen कि कुछ ऐसे territorial areas है जो China claim करता है. So again यहाँ पे map work थोड़ा important हो जाता है. So you'll just open up the maps and locate important places, disputed areas जो हैं. And Aksai Chin kahan located hai? Arunachal. These are inalienable parts of India. China, it is a habitual offender when it comes to renaming and redrawing the maps of territories belonging to other countries. Then IS officer alleges graft in the Jal Jeevan mission scheme in Jammu and Kashmir, says that he was harassed by the LG. So senior IS officer has alleged irregularities in procurement of the pipes for the Jal Jeevan mission scheme in Jammu and Kashmir, which had a budget of 14,000 crore rupees. And this is what he has sent the complaint to the Union Home Ministry. And he has alleged that pipes, they were unsuitable for the hilly and the remote areas. They were shortlisted by a committee that reports to the Chief Secretary of Jammu and Kashmir. So he was the principal secretary of the Jal Shakti department of the UT at that time. And in one of another complaints to the National Commission for the Scheduled Caste, he also alleged that Jammu and Kashmir's LG and the Chief Secretary, they had harassed and intimidated and threatened him out of prejudice and bias against him for being a scheduled caste member. So again, as a case study, आप इसको समझ सकते हो that this is a question in front of you in ethics case study. Now again, यहाँ पे पूरा जो scenario है सामने, how you'll be dealing with it. There are basically two major issues of graft, and उसके अलावा we are seeing secondly that he being a member of scheduled caste, so he was harassed. So now what is going to be your plan of action? And you can see he has sent the reports to the Union Home Ministry as well, and also to the National Commission for the Scheduled Caste. So there were many financial irregularities also, acts of omission and commission in implementation of the scheme. So बात करते हैं what more results और क्या हमें evidences मिल रहे हैं from moon. तो Pragyan confirms sulfur near the south pole of the moon, and we are searching for hydrogen. So Pragyan, the rover of Chandrayaan-3 mission, we have the confirmation there's presence of sulfur on the lunar surface near the south pole. It is still searching for hydrogen for the presence of water. So laser-induced breakdown spectroscopy instrument, which is aboard the rover, it has made the first ever in situ measurements on the elemental composition of the lunar surface near the south pole. So there is presence of sulfur. Search for hydrogen is still underway. So LIBS जो है एक तरीके की scientific technique है जो analyze करती है composition of the materials by exposing them to intense laser pulses. So high energy laser pulse, it is focused onto the surface of the material such as a rock or the soil, and then वो generate करता है localized plasma. So जो collected plasma रहता है, plasma light, it is spectrally resolved and detected by charge coupled devices. So since each element, it emits a characteristic set of wavelengths of light, when it is in the plasma state. So elemental composition of the material हम उसको easily फिर determine कर सकते हैं. So as per the preliminary analysis, it has unveiled the presence of aluminium, sulfur, calcium, iron, chromium, and titanium on the lunar surface, specifically at the South Pole. And we also get the presence of oxygen as well. So thorough investigation is required about the presence of hydrogen on the lunar surface. And कल हमने बात करी थी that there is high temperature variance as well. So cyclone frequency, it may rise over the Indian coast from the warming of the Pacific Ocean. So how you can basically connect this point or present this point in your answers is that the impact of change in the climate or the warming of ocean, the Pacific Ocean, how it would be impacting the Indian coastline. So combination of global warming and Pacific decadal oscillation, it can lead to more cyclones. So IT services sector is going to be under pressure in the current financial year. And there has been persistent uncertainty in the key markets for Indian IT companies. And apart from this, new levy stalls the rice exports of 5 lakh million tons. So India's move to impose 20% duty लगाई गई है rice exports के ऊपर, so that again the main thing is कि domestically जो inflation है पहले हम उसको tackle कर सके and we have adequate amount of supply available in the domestic market. So here again we have topic regarding Chandrayaan-3. So we have lift-off time for India's place in the sun. So here you have all the details about different missions in the time period and the space agencies which launched them. So after the lunar success, ISRO it is turning its attention to the sun. So Aditya L1 mission hone wala hai for the sun, and it would be placed at the L1 point, the Lagrange one point. And iska advantage हम बात कर चुके हैं. Why only we'll want to place it at L1 point? इसके अलावा let's see what are the other important details. And कल हमने बात करी थी जो again मेजर अनोमली है रिगार्डिंग द सन, वो एक्सप्लोर करना हमारी पहली प्रायोरिटी या ऑब्जेक्ट होगा बिहाइंड द आदित्य L1 मिशन. So this is again ये repetition ही है, so that's why I'm not taking this up in detail. You can just go through it once on your own. Quote of the day is, yes, we are behind some companies in launching an EV, but that does not mean that we are late in the market or that when we are coming in 2024, we will have in any way damaged our ability to get an adequate market share. So this is coming from the chairman of Maruti Suzuki India. So far उन्होंने कोई ऐसा electric vehicle अभी तक launch नहीं किया. So he's commenting upon that. Coming to the economy page, so center was harmonizing the standards for new FAME 3 scheme. So FAME is basically faster adoption and manufacturing of the electric vehicles and the hybrid vehicles. So ministry, it may pay the quarterly incentives and extend the scheme by year to compensate for the delays. So construction and installation of the charging infrastructure यहाँ पे main focus होने वाला है with the rising, you can say, buying of the electric vehicles. Obviously, proportionately, and even we need to have easy accessibility to the charging infrastructure. So in Financial Express, let's see what are the other topics. So we have one of the new vehicles launched, which is the first 100% ethanol run vehicle. So this is world's first. This has been unveiled by Toyota in form of new Innova. So this is 100% ethanol based vehicle. So ethanol demand is going to grow as well. So he says, again, we have the union minister. He says, I'm very happy that the day of the economy, I'm very happy that the day the economy of ethanol, it will touch 2 trillion rupees. The agricultural growth rate, which is 12%, will grow to 20%. So again, यहाँ पे जब हम बात करते हैं even in terms of the vehicles that will be based upon ethanol based fuel, तो वो farmers की income को भी boost करने में कैसे help कर सकता है. There is again connectivity between everything. And साथ ही साथ obviously जब हम बात करते हैं तो ज़्यादा अगर vehicles ऐसे manufacture किए जाएंगे तो employment भी increase होगी, and that would be ultimately then boosting the income of the workers or the factories of production as well. Then coming to another data, जो number of salaried jobs हैं, that declines in July. So number of salaried jobs, it fell 6.2 million month on month basis to 86.2 million in July. As your number of industrial workers comprising 25% of all the salaried jobs, वहाँ पे हमें decline देखने को मिला है by 3.9 million. So जो number of industrial workers हैं, वहाँ पे we are seeing the decline. And the size of the total workforce employed as industrial workers, that also fell. So this is another trend that we're seeing. So experts का कहना ये है जो fall देखा गया है number of salaried employees में वो reflect कर रहा है large scale layoffs जो हो रहा है startups में और tech firms के अंदर. So total employment भी fall हुई है as जो हमारा labor force participation rate है that is at 39.3% compared with the 40% in June. तो लेबर फोर्स पार्टिसिपेशन रेट में भी हमें फॉल देखने को मिला है. एंड बिजनेस पर्सन जो है दे अकाउंट फॉर 20% ऑफ द टोटल वर्कफोर्स, वहां पे भी हमें डिक्लाइन देखने को मिल रहा है. सो लार्जेस्ट ड्रॉप इट वाज रिकॉर्डेड फॉर सेल्फ एम्प्लॉयड एंटरप्रेन्योर्स. सो दैट्स हाउ यू कैन सी कि द ट्रेंड हैज बीन चेंजिंग. So technical textiles again कैसे important होते हैं, again how we can leverage them, क्या इनकी practical life में applications होती हैं, and again government कैसे इस sector को boost करना चाहती है. तो around 150 startups they are going to receive rupees 50 lakhs each, and these are in the form of government grants for these startups. So exports they are set to get a boost, and then high value jobs would also be created. So fostering innovation, the government will be implementing them via incubators, including IITs, NITs, textiles, research associations, and centers of excellence. Grants in aid दिया जा रहा है. Minimum of 10% contribution has to be made by the incubatee. Focus किया जा रहा है supporting the individuals and the companies to translate their prototypes. And 26 institutes, they will be receiving the note for upgrading, training, and laboratory infrastructure as well. So these are going to be some areas. So scheme का जो नाम है that has been titled as GREAT, which is the grant for research and entrepreneurship across aspiring innovators in technical textiles. So you need to remember this thing. And apart from this, we are also having the National Technical Textiles Mission as well. So इसके important features क्या, objectives क्या हैं, वो आप लोग search करोगे. So fuel cost or inflation, it drags the real wages of the gig workers in 2022. So again, gig economy बहुत important है. It is growing, आने वाले time में और ज़्यादा grow and expand करने वाली है. तो as I just mentioned, you're talking about the bill that is being passed in the Rajasthan. तो pan India law हमारे पास होना बहुत important है. We need to protect the workers' rights, specifically जो gig economy में work कर रहे हैं. And इसके अलावा आपको भी सोचना है कि do we have any provision as of now in the form of law or not? So that will be commenting upon. So flex fuel hybrid electric vehicle, 100% that will be running upon ethanol. You can see has been launched by Toyota. So this is the world's first, and you can see the Union Ministers Nitin Gadkari and Hardeep Singh Puri, they are unveiling the vehicle. So coming from the country head of Toyota, he says that we have shown the internal combustion engine ecosystem, it can easily be converted into flex fuel ecosystem. It says that hybrids, they should be taxed 14 to 15% lower than the ICE vehicles, जो internal combustion electric vehicles हैं, उनसे 14 से 15% less tax किया जाना चाहिए उनको. So E20 fuel मतलब पेट्रोल के साथ 20% ethanol would be blended. So जो Innova High Cross है, this vehicle it can run on E20 fuel as well. So again, specifically auto industry में this is going to be the focus. आप electric vehicles की बात करोगे, hybrid vehicles, flex fuel vehicles. So यहाँ पे you need to know the difference between them. Then taking up the Indian Express newspaper. So roads plus power is equal to economy. So power empowers the people. Budget for infrastructure development increase. यहाँ पे specifically हम मध्य प्रदेश की बात कर रहे हैं. But again हमें इसको थोड़ा objectively देखना है. Increasing the surface connectivity, infrastructure, highways build किए गए, power supply. So renewable energy and road network expansion. Okay, these are one of the core areas जब आप बात करते हो even in terms of attracting FDI in any particular state. So clean future, clean energy में जो investments रही, surplus मध्य प्रदेश, power supply के terms में again farmers के लिए वो कैसे beneficial है, एक opportunity हो सकती है to supplement their incomes, widening road network, and then apart from this, lengthening the state highways and 4-lane state highways. So state से specific again आप इसको national level के perspective से सोच सकते हो. So again, जब हम कोचिंग सेंटर्स की बात कर रहे हैं तो यहाँ पे स्पेसिफिकली अगेन कोटा की बात की जा रही है. वहाँ पे वी आर सीइंग कि जो सुसाइड रेट है बहुत ज्यादा इंक्रीज हो गया है. सो the Rajasthan minister says कि they're working on a law to keep a check on the coaching centers. तो यहाँ पे again you can also connect this thing with the all the coaching centers which are there in India. तो यहाँ पे भी again pan India law लेके आना important है. Students के ऊपर pressure and even जब बात करते हैं the fees that they're charging the students, किस तरीके से structure कर रहे हैं अपने courses को, तो वो देखना भी important हो जाता है. तो आप देखोगे यहाँ पे फ्रॉम एयरपोर्ट्स टू द G20 वेन्यू थीम बेस्ड फाउंटेन्स और स्टैचूज इंस्टॉल किए गए हैं. तो यहाँ पे पिक्चर में आप देख सकते हो जो फाउंटेन है दैट इज फॉर्म ऑफ शिवलिंग हैज बीन इंस्टॉल्ड एट धौला कुआं. तो अगेन यहाँ से आप हमारे लिए एग्जामिनेशन के लिए जो थीम्स यूज किए गए हैं वो इम्पोर्टेंट हो जाते हैं. सो यू कैन जस्ट सर्च फॉर देम. नटराज स्कल्पचर को भी इंस्टॉल किया गया है. सो 49 थीम बेस्ड स्कल्पचर्स, एनिमल स्टैचूज एंड शिवलिंग्स, they've been installed. And so two sandstone elephants, they've been installed. And apart from this, अप्सरा sculptures install किए गए हैं. lions install किए गए हैं, women dancing they have been installed. So shivling fountains from Odisha and some statues from Rajasthan, they have been sourced from these places. So NSG commandos, they would be also at place. So NSG being brought in to deal with the contingencies. So again, we are preparing from all perspectives. Hospitals की आप बात करें. So climate finance बहुत common topic है. You can just go through it. क्या ड्रॉबैक्स देखने को मिले, प्रोमिसेस फुलफिल नहीं किए गए बाय द डेवलप्ड वर्ल्ड, एंड आगे और क्या किया जाना चाहिए. तो यू कैन जस्ट गो थ्रू दिस आर्टिकल वंस. बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर वाला टॉपिक हमने कल उठाया था, कल बात करी थी कि इसमें भी अगेन क्या एवोल्यूशन लेके आने की जरूरत है एज पर द चेंजिंग डिमांड्स एंड द नीड्स ऑफ द टाइम्स. So that was a major thing जिसके ऊपर हमने कल चर्चा करी थी. So long before the doctrine of basic structure, it had been propounded. Constitutional expert from Germany in an address to the Banaras Hindu University in Varanasi had pointed out that on the first principles, any amending body organized within a statutory scheme, howsoever unlimited its uh, power, cannot, by its very structure, change fundamental pillars supporting its constitutional authority. So these were his words, and अगेन आपको अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस पता होना चाहिए प्रॉपर एवोल्यूशन कैसे, बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर डॉक्ट्रिन जो है वो कैसे आई, कौन सी जजमेंट रही, केशवानंद भारती जजमेंट, उससे पहले की क्या जजमेंट्स थी, एंड आफ्टर दिस डॉक्ट्रिन हाउ द डिबेट वाज शेप्ड अराउंड इट, कहाँ कहाँ इसको इम्प्लीमेंट किया गया, एंड उसके अलावा अगेन कहाँ इस बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर डॉक्ट्रिन को यूज किया गया, कौन से डिफरेंट केसेस रहे आने वाले टाइम में. So all of that is important. So you can see कि कैसे cocaine या drugs which are sourced from South American countries गोवा में कैसे reach कर रहे हैं, and obviously इसको easily stop किया जा सकता है. So LSD paper concealed in the book stuffed into the luggage on the flights, and then hash is trafficked from Himachal Pradesh and Nepal through the rail and the bus route. And village in Maharashtra, it is used by the drug traffickers to receive the consignments. These are just some of the ways the drugs they are making their way into Goa. So the trends, they were highlighted by the Goa police during a coordination meeting in the western region. The cross-border smuggling of drugs, use of dark web to aid these networks. So again, this is an important topic from internal security, GS3 mains. And cocaine is sourced from South American countries via the sea route, which is hidden inside the shipping containers. So you can see कि different forms में कैसे source किया जा रहा है. गांजा source किया जाता है from Jharkhand and Odisha, but it is routed through channels which exist in Karnataka, Maharashtra and Kerala. तो again मतलब directly source नहीं किया जा रहा है इस चीजों को. So LSD crystals जो इसको luggage में लेके आते हैं, and that is converted into liquid form by diluting it with spirit or alcohol. So again जो network चल रहा है locally चल रहा है, local people involved हैं. Again अगर यहाँ तक obviously अगर इतनी सारी details निकल के आ चुकी है micro level पे, तो obviously it can be tackled very easily, it can be stopped. So exporters, they will come out of the global uncertainties. So we are seeing this, and global uncertainties क्या है? पहले तो geopolitical risk, how geopolitics has reshaped, countries have aligned, realigned, I should say. And apart from this, again, inflation, it's a continuing concern, growing concern, I should say, and slowdown in the growth of the advanced economy. So कुछ challenges हैं जो exporters को face करने को मिल रहे हैं. So that's all for the day. Thank you so much for joining us, and do subscribe to the channel. Keep watching.